that joined forces with us, and that's how we made the film. And at some point, I contacted Alon and offered him to make the film, and he saw 39 Pounds of Love, and he said, "Okay, I'm going to do that character. I'm going to do the character from my documentary." And that's how it was built up. It was a big collaboration with everyone. It was a really big joy to make it, until now. Yeah. The road continues.
So let me ask both actors, how did it work from your perspective? This was not a big Hollywood film with millions of dollars. This was really you coming in and probably, I'm guessing you had to run the camera half the time. And tell me about the experience of this road trip for you.
I actually did run the camera occasionally.
He ran, he cooked, he just came up from Batman, so imagine for him.
This was basically the Batman budget, I believe, right?
The food for Batman.
The toothpaste.
What was left over from the food?
No, the toothpaste. We're accustomed in Israel to make low-budget films, but Dani's vision exceeded all of that. It's not just a low-budget film. I think what's unique about this film is that the way it was collaborated with Dani's vision created some kind of a family. We had one home that we all stayed in. We all cooked, except for one person. It was annoying. We had the camera where camera crew was black, and then one night they said, "You're not white guys, you're Israelis." And then we said, yeah. So it was, and Dani really enabled us to join hands and to circle around and to try to make this story or bunch of ideas that touch everybody into a movie that is not just a regular movie. Dani, you don't know that, but Dani goes to teach in university. They pay him to teach, and then he tells the students not to go to school because it's stupid. They should make movies, not pay for. That's Dani. And then one of the most interesting, I think, part is we didn't have Rachel. We didn't have a character. We were like inside, we were like, I think a week or 10 days into the shooting of the movie, we still don't have the character. And that's what I'm talking about. Like Dani says, we're going to find him and he's losing weight and he's really stressed because we don't have a character. But finally, I don't know, how did we get to you? How did you come into the movie?
Is this turned on? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it was interesting. I saw the casting notice, first one that you put out, and I hadn't been acting for several years, so I didn't have a headshot or anything. I had this really lousy photo that I posted to the casting website. Did not hear a thing, not surprised. But when you're an actor, you're constantly submitting for stuff, and so Dee Dee had given it to another person to help out with the casting, because you were busy. You were already on set, I think, already in Syracuse. The casting notice came out again. I didn't even remember that I even applied for it before. So I applied again, but with a different photo. This one was much better. And got the call and said, "Can you put yourself on tape?" They sent me the sides for Rachel, and I knew I nailed it. I knew I nailed it, and it was like a no-brainer. I mean, Rachel was me. I was Rachel from the get-go. The script was there, the writing was there, and I think 4 days later I was in Syracuse. So I came, you all had shot everything, right?
Yeah.
I think I was there the last...
Almost everything, yeah.
Yeah, so I was only there for like, a long 14, 16-hour day, and I was done. But they told me that they were prepared to shoot the film without Rachel because they had trouble casting her.
I mean, the drama was that you've seen that we were all looking for Rachel in the movie, and everything happened. Really, behind the scene, we're really looking for Rachel. That was the real drama.
I hear that's how most Julia Roberts films work too.
No, but you know what? You know that I'm coming from a documentary world to the fiction, so I'm trying to sometimes fictionalize the documentary. I mean, like 39 Pounds of Love or Dolphin Boy. And I try to be very honest and cast characters with my fiction films. I mean, when Alon was there, I mean, I don't know, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like it was Alon. In many ways, it was Alon. Whatever it was one take that I ruined for him because I didn't know he was acting. I don't know if you remember, the first day, we were in the car, and Alon is there, and I'm hiding in the car. And I said, Alon, you know, what's going on? He said, don't stop ruining my takes, you know. I didn't think he's acting. It was so real. So I really looked for real people. There was one scene that Alon and Aruna were stopped by a cop, really stopped by a car. I mean, really, not in the shooting. So they were stopped and our production car was behind them. So of course they ran away. And we were stuck with the cop, and we told the cop, what happens, they said, do you have permits to shoot? So we had something from the university, but we really didn't have it with us. And we told the cop, you know, if he's interested, we're from Israel, we're making a film here, and we really will be happy to shoot him. And he said, he looked at me and he said, you may want to rephrase it. And then he asked, when are the auditions? He forgot about permits and all of that. And at the end, he didn't pass the audition. There was another guy. Really.
Always cast the cop in the audition. You want the cop.
But that's how we made it. We really wanted it to feel as real as possible, especially that it crossed between the documentary and the fiction world.
But Alon, I was going to ask you, what are the connections between you and the character you played? Where did you connect there?
Well, it was a challenge. Well, first he's older than me. He's like, he was then 13 years older than me. And I was scared of that. I didn't know how it would pass, how could I go older. I liked the fact that he felt he missed his life. I liked that he was not a macho guy. I'm known to be casted as macho in Israel. And that sensitivity, that seek for love, that vulnerability, I seek for that. And it was very difficult for me to believe that someone would follow his love up to 40 years and go, come on, you're kidding me. And then this nice, lovely young lady suddenly appears and says, "Oh, I'll come with you." So it was difficult for me to believe, and these are my basic instincts, and I brought it to Dani and I said, what's difficult for me is we'll have to keep it up. These are the main obstacles to me as an actor, so this will be the main obstacles to the character. And I tried everything in my power to just push Maruna away, not to come close. And I think it created some sort of tension that when I look at the movie, I like. And also, I didn't believe I'm really looking for something. And I kept it secret. When you see me saying I'm going to do it, I'm like, I'm not going to do it. This is not going to happen. And then this tension between the real me and what do I have to say, or the intent, or what the director wants, or the movie wants for me, is always that gap that I like in movies and in drama, between a real me who's coming there and not telling the real story. But, saying, yeah, inside of me I'm aware, I don't believe this. But outside I'm following what I have to do, and that creates this problem. Something like that.
Dani, and this actually connects to what you're saying here. I don't know if this is based on any true story, but I do hear of these stories happening all the time of people now in the Facebook internet world, reconnecting with their loves from 40, 50, and who knows how many years ago. And I hear the success stories, and I hear of the, also I'm sure many of them do not, actually I mostly hear about the success stories. You don't hear about the ones that don't end in success. But the truth is, what happens in, I think, most road trip films is that it's not about the whether you achieve your goal at the end, find the old love. It's about what you find along the way. And that definitely works very classically here. So did you base this on anything that was a true story? Where did the idea come from?
No, I mean, I really enjoyed, the fact that I'm doing fiction and I'm not doing documentary, and I can really fly with imagination, thanks to Road Bar and Eshkol Nevo, and do, whatever I have. There are always seeds of the fact that there is a role not taken to everyone in his life. I wanted to be a soccer player. I was sure I would be a really good soccer player, and I would be probably saving Israel and taking them to the cup. And luckily for them or for me, I don't know, but I wasn't, and that was always my role not taken. It was kind of like, for me, this film was healing from my regrets in life. And I felt like the reason the film is successful and people are, recognizing something within themselves is that everybody is asking themselves what could have happened, if, yada yada. And at the end, of the circle, then there's Ronnie Blair, who's actually really great as playing Jacob, but he's known as a wonderful director as itself that we look up for, saying, there's no haratot, there's haratot, and I don't know, a very shallow conclusion to it, but it's something that at least, we could step away, but I still feel like I should have been a soccer player.
We're glad you know. I would like to take some questions from the audience. Before we do that, I have a few plugs that I must mention. First of all, you can buy the DVD for IsThatYou right outside here, along with a couple of Dani's other films, Dolphin Boy and 39 Pounds of Love. Those films, 39 Pounds of Love and Dolphin Boy, are actually also available on our streaming site, israelfilmcenterstream.org. And actually, Alon Aboutboul has a few films on our streaming site too, including, off the top of my head, Noodle, and I'm hoping we get up there very soon. A Place in Heaven, which we screened here at the festival last year, and is just one of the best Israeli films made in the last few years, and is really an epic Israeli piece like no other made before. We have a question up there or something.
Yeah,
We're gonna pass the mic. There's a mic.
Hi. What were the subtitles for, or what did they mean? We missed it up here.
There was, I heard there was something to do with the subtitles. I want to say to you that, I wanted to really give some subconscious thought, but it actually was just a technical mistake. So it wasn't something clever. I heard that...
Was it in the movie?
Yes, it's a total mistake. It was actually the thought that Alon Aboutboul had while he was eating the hummus outside. And it's a new thing, the iPhone 6, 7, 8, that's the new thing. I'm joking, it was a mistake. It's just a technical mistake.
Good one down here. Good time.
Fantastic, really enjoyed it. The part that confused me for a moment, when you found Rachel, and it was looking beautiful, and then when you started to speak, I was listening for the Israeli accent. And also when the black man spoke and said, you came back to us after, I know you since 5th grade, I was really confused. And I thought, oh no, he's found the wrong Rachel. And I thought maybe there's something really deep and confusing in here, in that people who have missed somebody, it doesn't almost matter who it is, you find something that's missing and everybody somehow joins together. So I thought there's something weird. But then I saw the movie continue and I said, no, this is Rachel. So Rachel must have come from Canada to Israel and back. But maybe it just means that art followed real life and that this was the Rachel you cast. So is that how it happened? That the Rachel didn't have an Israeli accent because when you cast for Rachel, this is who you found?
So the bottom line you're asking, is that you?
It's a long question.
Yeah, so the answer is yes. When you're making a film, there is what you call a backstory to all the characters, and yes, her backstory that we know she was born in Canada, moved to the United States. She met him in Israel in kibbutz, went back to Canada, and that's like the backstory. In real life, when you make a film, even though it can be written in the script, you find yourself cutting out a lot of the backstory in order to not bore the audience too much. So that's part of it. But what I want to tell you that when Alon met Rachel, the text was pretty short, and I mean, both Rachel, and Suzanne and Alon, they brought so much of themselves, and I was incredibly privileged to work with them. I'll give you an example that at the end, when Alon tells her the story about the Angel Bakery, it was totally not in the script, and Alon just improvised it. We just said, we're not going to cut, and Alon took the camera, because he's very used to talking to his kids and do a selfie. He took the camera, and he did the scene by himself. So he was shooting, directing, doing sound, acting, and at night he was cooking.
I assume that upped his salary too, because he was doing all that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He doubled it.
The characters in the documentary talking about their regrets were real people or actors?
Half. Half of them were real people. Half of them were characters. And the film was very much written, but there were parts that we asked those characters whether they were actors or just real characters. And for me, there is no difference. I don't see actors at all. I just see characters. So I see you as a character, and you can absolutely make it to my next film easily. I have no problem with it. And I see Alon as an incredible character that, can also shape his ways, through so many things and so many incredible situations and carry a movie. But again, it's a character. So what I asked them is, what is really your regret? And sometimes that's what made it to the final cut, even though it wasn't in the script, in order to make it feel honest.
First of all, I want to say incredible movie. Thank you for sharing it. I noticed in the film you shot with a very wide aspect ratio. I'm curious why you chose to go so wide with that.
Actually, in theaters, the aspect ratio even go wider in normal theaters, and we wanted it to be wider than normal and a little bit different aspect ratio to stand out. We saw it at the editing. We started shooting like that when we saw it in the editing. We loved it. I have no smarter answer to this, rather than the fact that we just loved it.
Looks very cinematic, and when our person here tested it, she said, "There's something wrong with this film."
I'm giving every projectionist a heart attack. Each one of them personally, everywhere in the world.
We'll take one last question over here.
We first met 34 years ago at our son's bar mitzvah, and I'd like to say we're proud to be your cousin.
So you see, when you're making a film, it's very important to bring your family. You want the real positive.
Any other family members want to wish anything to folks, I want to thank you all for coming out and supporting the Israeli film. Please, I hope to see you more this week and at other films. Spread the word. The film is screening in Westchester on Tuesday night, so let people know up there. And have a good night and have a good week. Thank you very much.